Hello, Tiger Cubs, and welcome back to TCN.
There are a lot of great segments, so what should we roll first?
Well, how about we roll the sports scores first?
Let's see how the soccer teams did.
Hey Tiger Cubs, welcome back to the sports episode for this week. Both our boys and girls soccer teams are headed to the finals. The girls beat Foothills 4-1 and the boys beat Clifton 2-1 in a close game.
Here are some highlights from the game. Also, wiffle ball quarterfinals are on March 14th with the players and pairs playing against Leaf. Good luck to both teams. That's all for this week, Tiger Cubs. See ya.
Good job, varsity teams. We're going to the finals.
Make sure to watch sports next week so you can see the results.
Now, in other news, we have...
Hey Tiger Cubs, and welcome to On Earth News, and today we have a special episode just focusing on the train derailment in Greece. On Tuesday, February 28th, a passenger train collided with a freight train, resulting in at least 36 people dead. Approximately 250 people were rescued, 85 people with non-fatal injuries, and the number of total passengers on the train was 354. This deadly train derailment prompted the Greek Prime Minister to visit the site and resign from his position. After resigning, he said it was the minimum sign of respect and memory to the people who died so unjustly, quoting from the Washington Post. The Greek government is still trying to figure out the cause, but the most likely reason is that the train tracks were not up to date. After the train derailment, the station master was arrested after fleeing the scene. Europe and the world are in shock and mourning the people involved in this terrible accident. This also comes right after Ohio's East Palestine train derailment, spilling many chemicals and affecting the people in Ohio. Anyways, please pray for the families affected by this terrible event. Thanks for watching, Tiger Cubs.
Now we have a segment on segment development.
That should be a pretty interesting segment, followed by 5-minute crafts.
If you spent any time on YouTube, you probably heard of or seen 5-Minute Crafts. 5-Minute Crafts posted their first video on November 15, 2016. Since then, the YouTube channel has gained almost 80 million subscribers. Behind it all is one company, The Soul Publishing. This company owns lots of channels that you see all over the internet, including channels such as Brightside and 123Go. Just the 5-Minute Crafts channel alone has accumulated over 25 billion views. How did the 5-Minute Crafts actually gain popularity? Clickbait thumbnails and constant uploads help attract viewers, making them click it and watch their videos. Lots of views eventually lead to lots of subscribers, watch time, and so on. However, most of the so-called hacks presented are unrealistic and downright stupid.
Let's try out some of these life hacks. We're going to be using a Post-it and paper clips to try to create extra space in our notebooks. As the video said, we need to put this paper clip around one of the rings and twist it so it's like this. And then do the same. Okay, so now both of them are in. We can put the paper clips like that and the Post-its in like that. So I don't know why they're overcomplicating this by using the paper clips. So yeah, but I guess it works. Yeah. Hack 1. Good. Success. So first, hole punch 2 holes into your paper. Next, we want to put this rubber band in both of these holes. Now we need a paper. And now you have your papers that are together when you could have used a stapler. Overall, this hack did work, but it's much easier to just staple them together. So basically, it's a math hack to multiply two-digit numbers. So we're gonna use 75 and 68. You're supposed to do 100 minus 75, and then 100 minus 68, which is 25, and 32. So then you add these to get 57. And then you put 100 minus 57, which is 43 here. So then you do the product of these, which is 8, 0, 0. And then you add this over here, so it becomes 43,800.
Okay, let's see if that works. This does not work.
So I guess it does not.
Hey Roman, who's your favorite music artist?
I'm not really sure. That's such a difficult question.
Well, if you can't figure it out, me and Atticus should ask people in the quad so you know who.
All right, Mr. Lewis, what is your favorite musical artist?
It's a big question, tough one. I'm gonna have to go Eminem on that one.
All right. Lil Mabu.
That's the best. BTS. BTS for sure.
BTS?
BTS for sure.
Juice WRLD.
Probably Odd Trap. Probably Imagine Dragons.
You know who it is? Kanye West, baby!
The Baby. Lindell Kurt. Bacardi. Imagine Dragons. Kendrick Lamar.
I think Kanye West.
I like Ice Spice.
Kevin, who's your favorite music artist? Tyler, the Creator. Now watch his backflip.
I'll be Jermaine Cole. Or you guys probably know him as like J. Cole, because like you guys are uneducated, but like he's my favorite artist for sure. Second is Drake.
Then delicious food segment.
Nom nom. Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Food Review.
Let's spin the wheel and find out where we go first.
I'm a lit kid beat.
Alright, so I just had the croque madame sandwich. It was really good. There was a bechamel sauce and ham, and it was like warm, and there was an egg on top. I'd give it a 9 out of 10. And then for the niçoise salad, I'd give it an 8 out of 10. It was just a really good salad.
I just had the niçoise and the croque madame. The niçoise was a salad with tuna, arugula, olives, egg, and I would assume olive oil as well. It was really good, but you know, kind of a salad, so I would rate it a 5 out of 10. Pretty basic. And then the croque madame was really good. I love the egg. The egg was my favorite part, so I'd rate that one a solid 8 out of 10.
I had the salad. I really enjoyed it, and the tuna made it really good. I'd give it a solid 8.5 out of 10.
Hi, I'm David. I'm new here. This is my first time, and I had the salad and the sandwich. I don't know how to pronounce them, and they were. I like the salad a little bit more than the sandwich, just because like the potatoes are nice. I gave the salad a 9 out of 10, and I give like the sandwich a 7 out of 10.
Honestly, I thought the macaroon was a little sweet, but overall really good still.
Alright, so we just had the creme brulee. It was really delicious. There was a perfect amount of crust on top, and it was nice and creamy.
So both the creme brulee and the macaroons were amazing. They both just had really good, very sweet flavors, and I especially like the macaroons because they almost had like a puffy texture. They tasted really fresh, and they were colorful, which is a plus.
So I just had like a little piece of it. It's amazing, super chocolatey. And like these beets, they have like a little crunch to it. Like I give it like a 9.9 out of 10.
Now it's time for the Superstar segment.
Mythology.
Hello, and welcome to Mythology. This week I will be talking about the story of Ursa Major, or in other words, the Big Dipper. This myth has a few different tellings, but we will be using the one from Ovid's Metamorphoses. First, you have to know some things about Ursa Major. First being, this constellation is circumpolar, which means it's visible almost year-round, and you have to go very far south to see the constellation set. In Greece, only the paws of the bear ever set. The word Arctic comes from the Greek word Arcticos, which means of the bear. And this is made to show the place of the planet where you can always see Ursa Major. Now we can get to the story. We're going to be starting off with a hunter of Artemis and daughter of King Lycaon, Callisto. Now, she was a mortal woman and caught the eye of Zeus, who thought that maybe he could seduce her by acting like he was Artemis. And it worked. When a couple months later she became pregnant, people got very confused. We need to address the fact that the hunters of Artemis take an oath that basically says they will be an eternal maiden. So, Artemis had no choice but to banish her from the hunters. During exile, she gave birth to a son named Arcas, and Hera takes this opportunity to turn Callisto into a bear. Now, about 15 years later, her son is out hunting in the woods when he stumbles across a bear, and this bear just so happens to be his mom. Now, he is about to kill the bear, but Zeus sees this happening and feels the need to step in. And the way he thinks he can save this situation is by turning them both into constellations. Callisto turns into Ursa Major, while Arcas turns into Ursa Minor.
Hello, and welcome back to Decaying Like Oprishkin. This week we will be reviewing the entirety of the Shrek trilogy.
Starting off with Shrek 1, this movie was the best out of the three. It had the classic fairy tale plot where the knight goes to save the princess, but with its own twist.
There was nothing too special about this movie, so we'll give it a solid 9 out of 10. Moving on to Shrek 2. It starts off right where Shrek 1 ended, with Shrek and Fiona on their honeymoon.
They go to a kingdom far, far away to meet Fiona's parents. The whole kingdom is surprised to see that Fiona is with an ogre, but even more surprised to see that she was one too.
In this movie, we get to see everyone's favorite cat, Puss in Boots. At first, he is Shrek's enemy, but they soon become good friends.
We give Shrek 2 an 8 out of 10, taking off 1 point for this scene. Shrek 3 is where this trilogy takes a toll.
With the king dead and Shrek not wanting to be king, Shrek, Donkey, and Puss in Boots go on an adventure to find the next in line to be king.
This movie wasn't too bad, but everything was honestly so much of a lower quality and wasted potential.
Shrek 3 gets a disappointing 4 out of 10. Overall, these movies put together were pretty good, but because of Shrek 3, the overall score is 7 out of 10.
Next up, we have music A through Z.
That's always a great segment. And to follow that, we have some movie locations.
Sounds great.
What's up, Tiger Cubs? Welcome back to another episode of Music A through Z. Starting off, we have Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin were an English rock band formed in London in 1968. The group comprised of vocalist Robert Plant, guitarist Jimmy Page, bassist keyboardist John Paul Jones, and drummer John Bonham. With a heavy guitar-driven sound, they are cited as one of the progenitors of hard rock and heavy metal, although their style drew from a variety of influences including blues and folk music. Led Zeppelin have been credited as significantly impacting the nature of the music industry, particularly in the development of album-oriented rock, AOR, and stadium rock. Stairway to Heaven, Immigrant Song, and Black Dog are some of their most famous songs. Dwayne Michael Carter Jr., known professionally as Lil Wayne, is an American rapper. His career began in 1995 at the age of 12, when he was signed by rapper Birdman, joining Cash Money Records as the youngest member of the label. From then on, Wayne was the flagship artist of Cash Money Records before ending his association with the company in June 2018. Regarded as one of the most influential hip-hop artists of his generation by XXL, he's been cited as one of the greatest rappers of all time. Some of his most popular songs are Lollipop, Love Me, and A Milli. Louis Daniel Armstrong, born August 4th, 1901, and died July 6th, 1971, nicknamed Satchmo, Satch, and Pops, was an American trumpeter and vocalist. He was among the most influential figures in jazz. His career spanned 5 decades and several eras in the history of jazz. He received numerous accolades, including the Grammy Award for Best Male Vocal Performance for Hello Dolly in 1965, as well as a win for the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 1972, and the induction into the Rhythm and Blues Hall of Fame in 2017. Some of his most famous songs are What a Wonderful World, Summertime, and It Don't Mean a Thing. Michael Joseph Jackson, born August 29, 1958, and died June 25, 2009, was an American singer, songwriter, dancer, and philanthropist. Dubbed the King of Pop, he is regarded as one of the most significant cultural figures of the 20th century. Over a 4-decade career, his contributions to music, dance, and fashion along with his publicized personal life, made him a global figure in popular culture. Thriller, Billie Jean, and Beat It are some of his most popular songs. Madonna Louise Sisson, born August 16, 1958, is an American singer, songwriter, and actress. Dubbed the Queen of Pop, Madonna has been noted for her continual reinvention and versatility in the music production, songwriting, and visual presentation. She's pushed the boundaries of artistic expression in mainstream music, while continuing to maintain control over every aspect of her career. Hung Up, Material Girl, and Like a Prayer are her most famous songs. That's all we have time for today. Thank you, Tiger Cubs.
Today we have 5 more film locations in our hometown of South Pasadena. The first one we're going to be taking a look at is the 2017 film Lady Bird, which was filmed at the coffee shop Caldi and the South Pasadena High School. Next up we have Step Brothers, where part of it is filmed at Meridian and Mission. Going all the way back to 1996, we have the original Space Jam at 1002 Highland Street. The first Halloween was not the only one filmed here, as the 2007 Halloween was shot in 1937 La France Avenue. Sticking to the topic of death, we have Ellie Sattler's house in Jurassic Park 3. South Pass also has other films such as Michael Jackson's Thriller music video, which was shot at our local Rialto Theater.
Hey, Jude, what's up next?
Looks like we have another interview segment.
That's crazy.
So right there I am making the head shape as well as the eye, which is really tiny, but I'm getting the basic shape of how it looks, and now I'm getting the body and the triangles as well as the mouth. Yeah, it's a little curvy towards the bottom. I also just adding details to make sure it's good. Added the arm and adding the teacup with a little tag on it and putting the color in. I am just adding some details now, making sure that the line art is good, which is always important. And now I am coloring. I'm coloring now. It's green. It's a nice green shape. Filling in the colors. Making sure the T is good, make the arm look nice and strong, and everything looks pretty good. Putting in like a layer around it and the green, and that should be pretty much it. Alright, now you know how to draw Kermit.
I think it's very relaxing and therapeutic, and it can be a great way to channel your feelings and put them onto paper.
What do you like about drawing Kermit the Frog?
About giant what? There is no easy way out. You just have to practice and practice and practice and practice all kinds of things. Color theory, figure shapes. I mean, you can do it at school. You can just like draw like the place you're in. I mean, just getting a really good awareness of your surroundings and how things work. That also really helps. But just in general, you should just practice. Yeah.
Finally, for the final segments, we have trivia and random ranks.
Followed by some silly, goofy facts.
Okay, so what do you guys like better as a subject, math or English?
Math. Math.
So what do you like better as a subject, science or history?
History is pretty neat.
History.
Neither.
So what subject do you like better, math or history?
History.
I'm good at both of those subjects, but I like history better.
That's all the segment for this week's episode.
We hope you enjoyed this episode.
Make sure to tune in next week and
Sayonara, Tiger Cubs.